So today we're at Raccoon State Park. We're going to do a hike and take a look at some of the trails. Joining me today will be Racquelle Pakutz from Zen Freight Solutions. So hopefully we're going to have a really good hike today. A lot of rain came through yesterday. A little better today, kind of humid, about 75 degrees, and everything's wet. But the good things, the storms came through yesterday here in Pittsburgh, and we should be in great shape. So I'm going to take a look at the park trail maps right now. Okay, I'm here today with Racquelle Pakutz from Zen Freight Solutions. We're going to be going on a hike today, and I'm going to turn it over to Racquelle and let her talk a little bit about today's hike and important messaging that we need to have before we go on our hike.
Hi there, Racquelle Pakutz here. I'm your healthy, happy hiker. We are down here in Raccoon State Park. We're going to do a nice little 1-mile loop on the Henrik Trail to the Abaddon Trail. We have our hiking boots and long pants. We also have some bug spray and tick spray on. We're going to be careful for any snakes that might be on the ground and be on the watch out for what kind of wildlife and birds we can see. Always want to be mindful of what we're taking in and carry in and take back out all of our garbage that we take with us.
Excellent. Very good.
Okay.
All right. So we go back this way?
Yep, it's up this
All
way.
right.
I'm going to record here. I thought about bringing the dog, and then I was like, you know what? That's just way too much.
Yeah, and they signs everywhere, no pets.
Oh, is this a no? Oh, it is a no pet.
Yeah. I didn't realize that either.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, because the dog would have to drive back.
Yeah. You wouldn't like staying in the car very much. That is crazy. It's hiking only. Well, I guess we picked a good trail then.
Get a little bit of the washout down here. Look at that.
Yeah, they did. Some bird houses. Oh, I love that.
Okay, so this is the Jennings Trail, huh?
Yeah. Okay. There's a little bit of information on it there.
Famous botanist, educator, naturalist.
Cool.
I wonder if he has something to do with Jennings Nature Reserve in Butler.
Probably.
That would be
Yeah,
cool.
a lot of times the people are interconnected all over western Pennsylvania.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, the families that moved into the area 100 plus years ago.
So I started hiking because when I left the corporate world, I needed a way of settling my mind, you know?
Yeah.
I was like lost and didn't know what I was doing. So I just hiked, and that brought me to listening to podcasts and books, finding different guides, and just found that it really relaxed me and got me out of my head and here. Not to mention, as you're using both sides of your body, you're really grounding yourself, bringing yourself down to the present.
I think it's kind of nice to get out onto trails because it gets you to appreciate nature and also gets you to reflect a lot about, we have busy lives every day, we're in front of computers, we're doing so much to just make a living, and it's good just to kind of relax and get out into nature.
I agree. I agree. Taking a minute to like actually notice, notice the rain dripping off the leaves and realize, that's what I love about Western Pennsylvania. You get to see everything grow and die and then come back again. It's like,
yeah,
it's like such a beautiful thing.
They call that death, birth, and renewal or whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You can see the trail really got washed out with the rain this past couple days.
It definitely did.
I'll get all the spider webs.
I also hiked because before I hiked, I ran. I ended up with bursitis in both of my hips, and so I had to slow down. And hiking allows me to at least stop and breathe if I need to, or take my time. And it doesn't really matter how far you go. It's just a matter of getting outside.
Yeah, definitely.
Being with yourself and enjoying the nature around you. That's cool. There's a little house up here. And exploring. I love exploring. We didn't take the right trail. We are on the Jennings Trail. Not the one I wanted to be on. But that's okay. So, do you hike much?
This is my first time.
Okay, awesome.
I mean, other than when I was a teenager.
Yeah, okay, so do you know what the trailblazes mean?
I do not.
Okay, so when you see these squares on the trees like this is marking your trail and your path.
Okay.
If it's just one, it's showing you go straight, but one to the right means you're gonna go right. If it's off to the left, you go to the left.
Oh, I see.
And usually from this point, you can usually see the next one along the trail. I don't see it right at this moment, but we will once you start going this way.
Okay.
And like on this side, they have it here. So when you're coming back, you see it here, and then you can go straight down the path.
Excellent. Let me check out this cabin.
Yeah.
Seems like the Cyrus Cotton Hungerford was a political cartoonist in the 1920s.
Huh. Oh, that's so cool.
And it even says he made some of his cartoons here in this cabin.
Wow, that's crazy.
Oh, it's open. You can go right in.
Be careful on the stairs.
Yeah, a little rot in there, but we'll make it.
Oh, this is cool. That's kind of nice here.
Oh, this is so neat.
Yeah, this is kind of nice.
Oh, you could like bring your camping stuff and just hang out and then be out in the rain.
I bet that's probably why it's open.
Yeah. They have one of these out in rain that you're allowed to rent and stay in.
No electricity.
Yeah.
That's really cool. It's odd to have, usually these things are all locked up real tight, so to have one that you can kind of explore is pretty cool.
Yeah, it is kind of nice. Little bonus.
All right, so where do we go here? I would assume. Oh, there it is. So, like you come up here and you come around and then see the very next one. They usually make it really, really, really easy to find.
Excellent. Oh, there's the trail markers there too.
Yep. Just to help guide you on which direction to go, and then you get beyond here and you see the path. A lot of crickets kind of here.
Yeah.
I don't hear many birds yet.
Not yet. They're kind of hiding away.
You checking our path?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What's the hardest hike that you've ever done? Like Colorado?
Colorado, because the air is so hard to breathe. You know, it's just very thin air. So you're going straight up a mountain and trying to catch your breath. But I love Pennsylvania, and I'd say the next hardest hike that we did around here was
Rachel Carson.
The Rachel Carson Trail, yes. Right off of 28. It goes up and down and up and down.
You
and
know
so
the cliffs that you're driving by on 28 there?
Yeah.
Basically what you're walking up and down those cliffs.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty grueling hike, but
Yeah.
a fun one.
Yeah. So, the other opportunity would be to walk up and down the, in Pittsburgh you have all the staircases, going to the...
pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
There's actually some really neat hiking in the city of Pittsburgh. I know Frick Park's one of them.
Yeah.
And then on Mount Washington, you can hike through the woods, but look to your right and you're seeing city skyline, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a cool hike to check out. I don't know what it's called though.
I don't remember what it's called either. It was up on Mount Washington. Yeah, just like looking over the city. It was really cool. Keep going on.
We're on a 2.5 mile loop right now.
Okay.
We don't have to go the whole way.
We don't have to go the whole way. We'll see. If we find that it looks hard at some point. If it's flat, we're okay. If it starts going up and down, we'll have to change that. He prefers a loop because it's like the mentality of the further you go, you're getting closer to being back. These are your marigolds.
Is it goldenrod?
Goldenrod, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, goldenrod.
Good thing I am allergy free.
I was gonna say, a little snail here.
He's marking the trail.
And there's our bird.
Mr. Snail.
I guess a slug, yes.
Oh yes, it would be a slug.
Yeah, because you didn't have
A snail takes his home with him.
You're right, you're right.
It's like his own little camper. So
there's something about the actual ground when I'm not on like a paved or a gravel spot that it just really makes you feel more connected.
unless you slip in the mud, then you are not connected. I've seen that happen before.
Oh yes. I used to do like mud runs, and I'd always wear old shoes, you know, like I'm gonna throw them away afterwards. That was the worst thought ever, because then you have no traction at all as you're hiking or going up the trail. You're better off to have shoes with some really good tread on them.
Well, I'll tell you what, the rain we had last night, this trail, this looks pretty good.
It does. It does.
I mean, I brought boots just in case.
Yeah.
But
shoes good?
Yeah, I'm just in tennis shoes, you know.
Trails that I do at Alameda are bike trails, so they're a little bit wider, and they're really, really padded down.
Probably a little bit more slicker.
Yeah, but they have great runoff. They've done a really good job at making sure that that it goes off. So his uncle owns the Wildflower of Pennsylvania page on Facebook.
Yeah.
So he would probably be able to tell us all about these flowers. I've got to get connected with him to share. This is very different. I don't know what all these are. So a lot to learn still.
And you know, Racquelle, with you, with mindfulness that you've done, you know, if you go back, what, two or 3 or 4 years ago, I mean, your life was much different than it is today, and you've really taken on the mindfulness and really turned it into an awesome positive for yourself and for everyone who knows you.
Yeah, you know, 4 years ago, we didn't hike at all. It was more of like, let's go for a walk down the road and turn right back around after a half mile. But we went to Colorado, and hiking our first hike there, we had a lot of trouble. We didn't complete it, but that really gave us the boost to want to try again and do better next time. So when we came back from Colorado the first time in 2018, we started hiking. We got hiking bags, hiking boots, and I really took a liking to just being outside and finding my own time and space. Not only that, it brought me to the divine, God, source, whatever you want to call it. It gave me time to connect with myself and with the universe. So it has completely changed my life, just being outside. Like
a transformation.
Yes.
Yeah, and anybody can hike. I mean, myself, I need to work on weight loss and other things, but the trails are actually, this is not too bad.
There's 2 cardinals. You see them flying? They had just flew right behind you, and then they flew back. There's a male and female.
Yeah, they're back there.
Cardinals are my favorite. They're kind of like a sign of like guides around you, and so they always make me feel very comforted and supported whenever I'm on my hike.
Your spirit animal.
Yes, definitely my spirit animal. I'm wanting to learn more about mushrooms, mostly just because there's so many different kinds, and if I ever stay out in the woods, I want to be able to know what I can and can't have. I know which ones are what. I know there's an app. However, from my research, you can't go off of just looks. You have to cut them and take a spore sample and wait 24 hours. And depending on the shape of the spores after that, then you can know whether it's something you can eat or not.
Usually I let the grocery store determine that for me.
Yeah, good choice. Good choice. Mr. Allen Trail.
I did grab a map. My All Trails isn't working like it normally does, see? It's not bringing up the other trails when I zoom in.
Yeah, mine doesn't show that we're on a trail because I picked the wrong one.
We are on a trail.
I know we are.
I have a map in your bag if we need it.
In my bag?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well then let's look at it.
I'll grab one just in.
Since we took the wrong trail. We thought we were taking...
Which happens more times than we end up taking the right trail.
That's why it's always good to have different sources of navigation, you know, GPS
maps are
and
somehow
maps.
Always the most useful.
Yes,
I don't know why.
because you get lost. All right, so where are we?
I believe we're on the Jennings Trail, and this is the Esther G. Allen Trail.
Heritage.
This is a big park.
Lake.
Yeah.
I don't know if I realized how big this was.
Do you see Jennings Trail? Because I don't. Grab this side of this. I see Heritage Trail. I thought that's what we were taking, but then we are over this direction. So.
Oh, I think we're in the Wildflower Reserve.
Oh, okay. So is that the trail
This
that we're
is
on?
the big one that we were going to be
On the
taking.
back.
Yeah.
Jennings Trail. Here it is. So we came up and we're along 30 right now. We haven't gotten to the bridge yet, but there's our Esther Allen Trail. So if we just keep going straight, it looks like we'll go straight around.
And then we could, if we didn't want to do the whole loop, which is here,
Yeah,
we
we
could
can
take
just come back
Esther
here.
Allen.
Esther Allen right back here.
Yeah.
Perfect. Did you get all that?
Yeah. Do I know where we're at? No, I do not.
We know where we're going. We're going this way. Staying on the blue trail, on the Jennings. My logistics and map go hand in hand. You know, to be able to read maps and see where to go. And there's the bridge. There we go.
Okay, so it looks like we're coming up on some water here, possibly. Or a washout.
It looks like it might be water when we're not super dry. There's a tiny little stream. Very, very tiny little trickle happening.
Yeah.
Lots of birds now. To get out of the corporate world and into entrepreneurship was a big, big step. And it took a lot of adversity and broke me down and built me back up again. And through hiking and through, you know, being mindful and just kind of analyzing the way that I felt about things and what I did, you know, what the next steps were, kind of just blossomed. And I find myself finding new direction every day, you know, through the connections that I'm meeting and even through what I'm listening to, you know, online. So it's just a journey that I'm on, and I just want to share others to join me on that journey.
Definitely, definitely. Very good. Okay, Spider-Man, what's it looking like up there?
All clear so far.
Haven't eaten any. Where are we at? We're about like at a half a mile so far.
Wow, it feels like we've been doing this forever.
Like I said,
Those are these?
those are super cool.
I don't know that I really would want that in my face.
No,
But
it's really cool though. The little red legs and like pointy bum.
I can now, by seeing his web up close, I can see why that gets in my beard and just kind of
Sticks.
becomes a problem.
Oh yeah.
Pretty
There it
intricate.
is, right there.
I guess those are orb weavers, I would imagine.
Yeah. I always find it so fascinating, the brightness of the mushrooms. Like there's this one here that's really, really orange. And then you look right beside it and you've got little brown ones here. But they come in all colors. I've seen purple mushrooms. It's just so
Well,
cool.
we can talk about mushrooms on another episode.
I still need to learn, like I said. I just like to notice what's around me. All clear up there, babes? I missed the trees when we were out west.
You just ran off.
Oh, did I scare them? Yeah, when we were out west, it was just so desolate and like just open space. But I missed my trees a lot.
Yeah, trees are awesome.
These ferns, you don't realize, like, I don't know, I just find them beautiful. They're soft. Do you know when ferns first start growing, they have like little curls?
Yeah.
And you can cut those curls and you can cook them. And they're like a really good sweet like salad when they first come out in the very spring.
I never knew that.
Yeah. I think they're cool. Fiddler fern at that point in time. They're really split up here. So it looks like at one point in time they were trying to make a trail to the right here.
Yeah.
But you make sure you follow the signs and go to the left.
I think this is a path that George Washington did.
This one?
I'm teasing because everything in Pennsylvania is George Washington.
You're right.
George Washington slept here.
You're right. You're right.
Out west, it's all Lewis and Clark.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the
I guess it
Lewis-
would be.
We went to the Lewis and Clark Trail in South Dakota, or North Dakota. Yeah.
You know, when you go to Kennywood and you're on the train and they go by the tree with the bullet and they say General Braddock, that's his bullet when he fired at the British troops.
Watch your water again. I don't know, stress and fear weaken your immune system. So if you can, that's why another reason to get out and hike, right? You can kind of settle yourself down and bring yourself to a safe feeling, then you have more immune system to help fight it off.
And hiking really does help get you into the right mindset, but also too it helps work off fat you have and get you a little bit healthier. I'm 55 years old and I like walking. Walking for me is better than running.
Yes.
I'm not a runner.
Well, like I said, I started off running and I got hurt, so decided to walk and hike, and there was a frog.
The bullfrog, yeah.
I don't know, I just like the nature. I just like being out here. There's a bravery aspect to it, right? Because you're doing something that not a lot of people would do.
Yeah.
There's an exploration. Well, there is a little pond down here. You know, you get to see and hear and notice what's around you.
So even with our little pond at home, we'll get an occasional male frog, bullfrog, calling out for females. And one time I went into the pond this spring and he had 2 females with him. Oh. And then all of a sudden there was another male there.
Oh, geez.
So they're both out there croaking, trying to attract the 2 females that were with them. Yeah.
We get toads a lot at our house. And we have to save the toads from our dogs. So we take them, run them out of the boundary for the dogs so they can't get them.
And then they come back the next day.
Yeah. And they like to hide under the dog's water bowl outside for some reason. Like it's just
that's funny.
a cool damp place.
But when you have two male bullfrogs, they are so loud. Even with the windows closed and the air conditioning running, it sounds like they're right in the house. Oh my God. And I was always waiting for the neighbors. And then we actually had baby foxes that were born across the street and underneath the neighbor's shed. But the township, they did bait and take them away. Aww. They live trapped them. Yeah. Because they really can be a nuisance in a community, you know.
Right. I'm sure they probably are getting into the garbage and.
They were.
Yeah, causing problems. I think foxes are such beautiful creatures.
Yes.
And they're so elusive. You very rarely do you actually see them out in nature.
I didn't get a chance to shoot video, but we had one of the female pups drinking out of the pond.
Oh, that's so cool.
I was actually outside and she just came right up, looked at me, went and got a drink, and then disappeared.
That's a super cool experience.
It is. I love to watch them hop. I think it's the cutest thing ever. They're like,
Our friend has some acres near our house, and he had a family of foxes living there for a while too.
Yeah.
And they would come out every night at like 7 o'clock in the corner of the field and just start playing with each other.
are a lot of mosquitoes. I mean, I've only felt one, and it was on my face. Other than that, I haven't gotten bit yet.
No, I haven't got bit. I feel them bumping me, but
yeah.
I got a couple of back.
I know. I just hit one off your back. Do you want more? You want that bug spray?
Yeah, I might. I don't know like that.
I have it in my bag. Grab it. In the back.
I thought it would be early enough, but it's so humid
It
they're
is
out
humid.
anyway.
yeah, they'll stay out for a little bit.
I think it's in the big part.
Getting your hair cut.
Yeah, I don't see any bugs on you.
This stuff doesn't smell bad.
It's really good. We actually bought this in Colorado.
I was going to say in Colorado, you probably were dealing with some industrial insects.
Yeah.
Oh, in Colorado, I don't think they were terrible.
Not too bad.
At Minnesota.
Oh, mayflies up there, mosquitoes up there too. Yeah,
Mosquitoes were rough.
yeah.
We were
It's
just standing outside of our hotel. I got my truck, getting some stuff out of my truck, and I was wearing shorts. And I got what, like 13 or 14?
Yeah, you really got bit up.
I have a weird thing about bug bites. I just react real poorly to them, so I'll have welts for like 3 weeks from a single mosquito bite.
Yeah.
Whether I scratch it or not. It's kind of...
you have to put the Benadryl over
Oh
on.
yeah, we live with that Benadryl like anti-itch spray.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a big difference. We're even just taking Benadryl before bed sometimes just to help with the inflammation of it.
See, there's probably woodpeckers out here because there's so many of these dead trees.
Yeah, you can. I think I saw a couple holes that were
Yeah.
knocked out, but they look pretty old.
So how far is this from your house? About like 20 minutes?
Yeah, 20-minute drive.
Nice.
I do appreciate you guys
Oh,
coming down here.
of
I really do.
I like.
That one.
Well, that's a good one there.
Yeah, that my face would have been right in the spider.
I'm glad you're first.
I don't know. Usually I see them from a mile away. Today, when I get close enough, my vision blurs, and I'm like, "Whoa." Okay.
You autofocus on the web.
If I go first, I go under them, and then he still gets it.
Yeah.
In his face, so.
See, I'm gonna have to. My wife said to me too. She says, "Make sure you got a good stick." And I said, "I'll use my selfie stick." She's like, "I don't know. You're gonna have that loaded up with all kind of
Right,
bugs."
I think we can either shortcut back or long cut back.
All right, let's see here. We are at no outlet, trail ends at Vernal Pool. That's not an outlet.
No, this has us right here.
Right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we still need to go to the left. There's another bridge. We'll stay to the left, and then we can either come back to the Astor Islands Trail and follow down, or we can go Old Wagon Trail and down.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
She's the direction person, man. The spider here.
Well, that's why she runs Zen Freight.
I think it goes back to when I was a kid. My dad and I used to always go to Jennings Nature Reserve, and where is that, babe? Is that Harris? That's not Harrisville, right? Portersville?
Oh yeah, Slippery Rock.
Slippery Rock area.
Okay, yeah.
It's another part of Moraine State Park, or kind of connected on the back side of it. And I don't know. I've always loved to just be outside.
You know, when I was an active scuba diver, I used to go up to Slippery Rock and dive a couple quarries up there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I think they still have a diving school at one of them.
Yeah, probably Strawberry Quarry.
Maybe, yeah.
We had put a underwater platform to do, wooden platform that floated off the bottom to be able to do checkout dives. You know, where they could, the students could kneel down on it and take their mask off and put it on and clear their mask and all that kind of good stuff.
Wow. When did you do that?
Back in the late 80s and through the 90s into early 2000s.
Oh, that's awesome. I've never scuba dived before. I've done
Oh, it's awesome.
what is that called? Not snorkeling. Snuba, where they keep the thing in the
Oh, yeah.
in
Yeah.
the boat, and you just have a really long
Yeah, you're like on a hookah.
air tube. I don't know. I have a problem with the
Equalizing.
mask.
Oh, okay. I was
You know,
figuring your
like
ears.
breathing through the mask.
Oh,
is
that,
so
yeah.
challenging for me.
Yeah, I did rescue diving, ice diving,
Oh wow.
wreck diving, mixed gas diving.
Wow, that's really cool.
When I did my shipwreck, Jeannie, my wife, waited on the outside of the wreck while we went in, and then I came out, and then the instructor gave me the thumbs up that I passed, so I was
that's awesome.
pretty excited.
That is really cool. Have you ever done like scuba diving like out in the ocean?
Yeah, I dove the U-352 U-boat off North Carolina. We used to go out and do a liveaboard out there, 60-foot liveaboard. Oh, wow. Go out there and dive. We would do mixed gas out there because you're dealing with depths of like 300 feet.
Oh my gosh.
So I'd have to do decompression diving.
Yeah, I don't think I'll stay on the ground.
Yeah, like what the irony of it was that I am claustrophobic. I was very claustrophobic.
Yeah.
In order for me to get through the first series of certification, the instructor forced me in the pool to do my lessons without a mask on.
What is that?
I have no clue.
Let me take a picture of it. We'll ask your uncle.
Oh, it's weird.
Hang on to it for a second.
A lot of them have it.
Yeah. Wonder if it's a fungus.
Must be.
That is interesting.
Yeah, they're kind of, the way they look like they want to latch onto something.
Yeah.
You know?
I've never seen that before.
I have not either. That is very strange. It's only that one. I don't see it on the others around it.
That is very cool to dive down into a shipwreck. I couldn't.
Oh my gosh. Did you see like sharks or anything, or like?
I dove with a couple different types of species. A lot of them were nurse sharks. Okay. I dove with the Atlantic sand tiger shark. Oh, wow. And I dove with black tip reef sharks off of Molokini Crater in Hawaii.
That's super cool.
Probably the funnest, neatest dive I did, wreck diving, was up in Lake Huron in the 1910 or I think it was 1910. The Witch of November, which are the big storms they get up there in November.
Yeah. It
took down vessels that were, 500 feet, 400 feet, 300 feet. These big ore haulers down, and they were iron. These were iron ships, steel ships, and they just basically settled on the bottom, so you could go in their hatches. They were perfectly preserved. The water is so clear and cold, so they don't rust as fast.
Okay.
So they're pristine.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was great diving, but you had to use like a dry suit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you said in November, like that would be really cool.
Well, we were diving in the summer, but even in the summer, the water temperatures were like in the maybe 70, cold water.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I love water, but I have a fear of what is in the water. I think just because I don't know it.
Yeah, well, where I kind of got over my fear of things bumping you.
Great, that's it.
I started working as a volunteer at the shark tank at the Pittsburgh Zoo, and they would have lemon sharks, and they had a giant turtle, a green turtle, and the thing would always come around and it would either bump you, bite you. You had to throw cabbage and lettuce and everything, heads of lettuce in for it. But the sharks, when they start getting about 5 to 6 feet, they would get aggressive and start to hit you with their nose, Yeah. So you kind of
get used to it.
Get used to it.
So long.
I think the scariest thing to do sometimes is a night dive in the ocean. I've done that, where we've done night diving, and you'll be there, and all of a sudden you come up and the dive master is with you. You said, "Did you guys see that shark?" And you're like, "What shark?" And it's like, "Yeah, it was right off your shoulder."
Oh my God.
And you're like, "Oh my God."
But once you get into the water, even during the day, does it get really dark down near those like shipwrecks? You said what, that was 300, 400 feet?
Typically there, the light's still very good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, especially in the Atlantic, because the currents really cook hard, and a lot of the nutrients are carried out.
Okay. I think you're going to the left. Meadow trails to the right, we go to the left. And over to the bridge.
No right-hand rule.
Yep, we just stay to the left. Stay to the left and then you do a circle. I always like to grab a map just in case, because even the all trails, sometimes they're recorded by other people, so sometimes they're not right. Multiple sources of tracking.
Yeah, I did scuba dive once. In Clarion River, remember that?
You did? I not. I don't know how you carry that big tank and everything, and acclimate to the breathing. Like,
Yeah.
I thought it was super cool because when we went, a friend of hers from college lost his wallet, and he had some friends at the fire department. So we went and borrowed their setups, and they had like the the pillows you could fill up underneath to take it back up. I thought that was the coolest thing.
So there, no joke, there's a YouTube channel of these guys are divers, and what they, they'll go dives, but one of their most popular series is when the spring breakers are in Texas doing all the drift river floating on the on the inner tubes.
yeah.
They go in there and they find all kind of stuff. They find GoPros, cameras, keys, wallets, and then what they do is they set up a station and they let everybody know, if you lost something, come see us.
Oh, that's really cool.
And they'll give it back to people, but
that's really cool.
But they always record the reaction. The girl's like, "Oh my God, you found my phone." I found my keys. Thank you.
I feel like a phone that's been in the water that long is probably not recoverable. Like, I know you could put them in rice to get some water out, but I don't know about that.
Yeah.
Completely submerged.
Well, the ones that have them in cases,
yeah.
they're smart. At least they put it in some type of a pouch or a case before they went on their little float. But there are a percentage of them, yes, that would not put it in a float and then.
Have you ever done a float around here?
So the only time the best one I would say, when the regatta used to be in Pittsburgh, I was a safety diver for that.
Okay.
So they had anything that could float, and part of that anything that could float was a race, and you would technically, in a way, float, but you would build something. So I would help out as a rescue diver for that, or safety diver.
Okay.
But then we'd also, as a group of divers, put our own little thing together, our own boat.
Yeah.
And the best way to look at it is that you see those crazy flying machines they do with like Red Bull?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's kind of what that used to be with the regatta.
Okay.
So we would do themes like Neptune, and just, a submarine, it would be, Mike Nelson back in the 60s with a show where, he basically put on black rubber dive suit and would dive, and do all these crazy things. Yeah, it was all these different themes that we would always come up with that were dive related. But, those days are a long time ago, and I don't even know, do they still do the regatta in Pittsburgh? I don't even know now.
No, we just had a regatta up at Marine State Park last weekend.
Those are fun.
They are fun. They have like circus people come, and they had mindfulness people. They all kinds of, it kind of brings people in from all around.
Yeah, and Pittsburgh would do the boat races. I know they had a couple of disasters with boat races. I think, if I remember correctly, one year back in the 90s, somebody died from a speedboat accident. But
they're left, babe.
Huh?
I'm going to stay to the left.
I'm going to stay behind and take care of something and then I'll catch up.
Okay.
Go ahead.
oh, okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'll catch up in a little bit.
Need me to get into the spiders myself.
You want this stick?
No, it's okay. It is a little wash.
Nature's calling him.
Yep,
Yes.
that's it.
It's very convenient being a guy, I'll tell you that.
Agreed. We stopped at Sheets right before we got here.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if there's any restrooms in this place.
There is, and the guy just cleaned it when I got here.
Oh,
he was
really?
walking out, and that's when I was talking to the forest ranger, and he was saying, oh no, these trails are actually pretty good.
Yeah, no, these are really nice.
Yeah. I thought there'd be a lot more mud.
Yeah, so did I.
But even in the center, it's pretty for the most part, just wet, but not slippery or sloppy.
So if you decide to start hiking, I highly recommend getting hiking boots.
Yes.
Because I can walk on a slick rock and they don't slip. And these ones in particular, they're a Solomon. They have a really hard shaft. So when I go over rocks, it doesn't bend. So I'm not.
Oh, I get it.
I'm not feeling every single rock.
Yeah.
You know.
It does hurt.
Yeah. So they make your hike a little bit easier on your feet and on your legs. And then they have the ankle support. That's why I like boots versus tennis shoes. I do have trail shoes, but I don't know. I like the ankle support.
Well, and the crazy thing, when I brought with me, all I had was, because I work in the coatings industry.
Right.
I brought steel toe shoes.
Yeah.
Which would not have been fun walking
No,
in.
those would have been really heavy.
Yeah.
I get my boots at REI because you can go in and try them all on.
Nice.
And then they also have like this little rock thing you can walk up it, so you can kind of just get a good
Oh wow,
feel
that's
of,
it.
like how it bends, how it feels on your foot.
So the good thing is my phone, my little walk goals are going off on me right now.
Yes,
so
yes.
I have them all set during the day.
Mine just did the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mine must be set too high.
I typically take the dog for the walk, and that's how I get my walks in during the day.
It doesn't matter. I promise it's just like 60 minutes outside in nature will reduce your stress level
Yes.
so much. It doesn't matter if you're sitting, if you're walking, if you're running, just being outside.
And then typically on the evening walk when I take her, we'll come back and I have an in-ground pool and we'll change and jump in the pool.
That's amazing.
And that's even more relaxing. Or you could hit the hot tub. That was the only crazy two things that my wife and I did. Our kids, we were like, okay, what do we want to do? We want a pool. So we're like, okay, let's go ahead and put a pool in. Let's get a spa too.
Yeah. I'd rather have the hot tub than the pool, personally.
Yeah,
I
hot
really
tub's
like
nice.
the hot tub.
So
we run it all year long too.
Yeah, yeah.
we can go up and cut over to here. We're right here right now, and come back and go over, or we can just keep going up the old wagon trail. I feel like this is probably the easiest way because it looks like that's like straight up a hill and this is kind of out and around.
Yeah, it looks kind of flat on the map.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll just go straight.
Back on spider duty.
Yes.
Get up there, Spider-Man.
Probably the one that's scared of spiders. But
That's why you have the stick.
Looks like walnuts all on the trail.
Yeah, I was wondering what those, they do look like walnuts.
Remember collecting them as kids.
Another really awesome place to check out is McConnell's Mills. I don't know if you're a diver, you've probably been there.
I've been there before, not diving, but I've been there before, and it is beautiful.
There's definitely some cool hiking there, but it's like a little more technical hiking.
Very technical.
Yeah.
I would say anyone looking to go and start, do not go to McConnell's Mills to start because you have to be very balanced because there's a lot of rocks, so you can get fatigued very quickly. And there are more times than not, we've heard of people like slipping and falling and being injured or dying because they fall in the fast moving water. So
Wow.
that's one that I do it only if I feel really good and I feel very, you know, like I have enough stamina
Yeah.
to do it. It is really pretty though, to have the water like rushing right beside you. It's really awesome. Also, Harrison Hills in Natrona Heights, it's a little bit farther north, but they have a beautiful park. Lots of trail systems in there and they all connect to each other, so it's really hard to get lost. And the same thing with North Park. North Park has a whole bunch of trails there, and they're very well marked as well. We've gone to Cook's Forest up in Slagle. Is that where that is?
Yeah.
Slagle, PA. Siegel. Yeah, that's it. Their trails are much older. I love going up there though because the trees are like there's not a lot of undergrowth. It's a really old forest, and you get the really tall canopy above you. It's just a really different feel.
You can tell it's never been stripped and
Right.
the way it is.
So with the canopy like that and the older forest,
Yeah.
do the birds tend to be more denser? No?
No, there's actually less birds. You have more birds whenever you have the bushes
Like
and
this.
the smaller undergrowth. Yes. Yeah.
There's less deer too, honestly.
Right. Because there's less for them to eat.
Makes sense. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, the older forests are a little quieter. I think that's kind of why it's a little eerie sometimes, you know, to walk through it because you've got like these real tall old trees, but
creaking in the wind.
yeah, I like to just sit and be like, what have these trees been through? What have they seen? You know, because they're 300, 400 years old.
Yeah, they're telling you a story.
Right.
Think about it.
Kinzer Dam area is pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
A lot of good hiking there and
there is.
cool history behind that place.
You can hike down underneath where the bridge was, and go down to the valley there too.
So another place that's great for diving, and really for, I think for hiking, I've never really hiked it, let's say, Summersville Lake area in West Virginia.
Oh, okay.
Before they open up the gully, you know, they'll open up the Summersville Lake, the reservoir, and let all the water go out for the whitewater rafting down the gully.
Oh.
Even that's impressive when they open up that water.
Yeah. That's really cool.
But there's, up in the hills, there's all types of camps up there, and the park up there, and you can walk pretty much in the mountains.
What part of West Virginia?
So, right down the center of the state, okay. Summersville Lake.
Strange mushroom.
I think it's mold.
Mold?
And I've never seen that before.
Oh, that is. Look at the structure on it. It's like a bone, almost,
yeah.
like.
Looks like a sea urchin.
Like cartilage.
So cool.
There's your woodpeckers.
You're right.
Yeah. Okay, this looks familiar.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We were in Colorado and there was this one trail and this, well, honestly, a whole park that was named after was it mold?
Yeah.
Or fungus.
Lichen
yeah.
Park.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they were really celebrating this lichen, which is something that's really rare in Colorado because it's so dry.
Yeah, and I think sometimes the animals eat that.
Right.
Yeah, it was real protected. They're like, don't touch it. And
Yeah.
it's kind of funny. You come to Pennsylvania, that stuff's everywhere.
Right.
Well, and the people that harvest, the edible, if you're out in the nature and you're harvesting those edible mushrooms, make sure you shake them to spread the spores, because you don't want to take away the supply and then all of a sudden you have nothing.
Right, no, that's true.
Oh, I bet that in the afternoon there's so many butterflies here.
Yeah, this is probably a great place to see monarchs and everything else.
I wonder if that's a bat house, a big old bat house.
Yeah.
Let's see, because
Some milkweed there, it looks like.
There's a big wasp nest underneath it.
Check that out. You want to stand underneath that?
No,
Spider-Man?
Okay.
It'd be the... Yeah, it's
Speaking of
bats.
McConnell's Mills, that was one of our times of excitement. I came up on a yellow jacket's nest and I must have, I don't know, made them mad. So they started attacking all of us. And
yeah, they did.
I got stung like 14 or 15 times. And
Yeah.
Well, and the crazy thing is when that first one stings you, you're marked in that scent.
yeah.
And then they all go after you.
They like curled. They like
Yeah.
got in my
Grasped
shoe and then they
onto-
started curling and stinging. It was crazy. I've never been attacked by bees like that before.
They go nuts.
They do. They do.
There's some butterflies out there.
Oh yeah, I really yelled. All right. So I like to kind of take a minute, whether it's the beginning, end, or middle of my hike, and kind of ground myself down. So how I do that is I kind of stand still, get a good footing, feel my feet on the ground, stand up tall, shoulders back, nice deep breath, and listen. What do I hear around me? And just notice. I hear there's an airplane. I hear the birds. I hear the crickets. I hear the cars in the distance. And then I notice the greenery around me. I notice the flowers. I notice the bugs. And then I come back to my breath, remembering to breathe and just feel that safety and security here, right now, where we're supported by Mother Earth and all that's around us, and just breathe and be here in the moment. And that's it. Just a few seconds of mindfulness, just coming back to where we are right here, right now, and back to our breath. Thank you so much for joining me on this hike. I'm so grateful to get to be your guide and take you here through Raccoon State Park. Thank you. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. I really
hope
do.
that you enjoyed our little hike.
Yeah, this
here.
was great. This was great.
Good. I will have to be coming down here more and more.
it wasn't even a bad drive.
No, now there's more places to hike because I've hiked everything in Moraine.
Yeah.
Every time I see one of these, I want to put a bat box in our house.
We should put a bat box in our house.
It's good to do. Some people do that.
We could do one.
We
like
have
this.
bats.
Yeah.
They're always there, but I'd like to have more. I mean, it's crazy. Just reading how many bugs they eat.
Oh,
Half their
yeah.
body weight in a night.
I can believe it.
I mean, how many bugs is half of a bat? That's a lot.
And you can use that guano.
Yeah, great fertilizer.
So I'm going to end this hike today with Racquelle and Jon. Any last thoughts that you want to leave before we end the episode?
Just get outside, have a map, take some shoes, water with you, and just enjoy nature. You know, just an hour a day will help reduce your stress levels by a ton. Excellent.
Very good advice. Thank you for today. I really appreciate it.
You're so welcome. Thank you for letting me join you.
All right. You guys have a great day.
Thanks, you too.